good. Let me hear that. I need a Belgian waffle choir. One more time. Pick it up.
All right, folks. After what's the beautiful performance that we heard about Paul Colman, the guy sitting here next to us. He is from Australia, and he came specially over from Germany to Belgium to go back to Germany tomorrow. Now, this guy is a busy guy, but I'm going to tell you, I'm so privileged to have him here. And I hope that we can remain serious in this interview because we had a talk, we had a ball, we sang together. But anyway, we're here to talk about your music, man. This is a singer-songwriter. He is a speaker, he's a producer, and he's an entertainer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Grammy Award nominee, and this guy has been singing.
That means I lost.
You lost?
Yeah, that's what Grammy nominee means.
A nominee.
It means you didn't win.
Well, we always try with the Eurovision Song Contest because you were talking about that, so we always try to do that as well. We always think we win. It's just like in football, everybody won. But anyway, you did a great job in doing this here with such an audience that is very special. You were just by yourself on your guitar, and you got to play. You played with the public, you played with the people, and you got them enthusiastic about your music. So now I can tell you why you have so many appearances, but what is it making you so special? Because you're doing such a fantastic job. What's your secret?
Everybody wants to be the closing band. I am a specialist opening act. See, everybody tries to be, the closing act. I like to warm up the crowd for Trinity. That's one of my favorite things. So I want to get them all ready and in close and excited and ready, and that's what I like to do. Plus, I was a wedding singer.
You were a wedding
in university.
Singer. Oh, man.
So I realized that music was a way to serve people and to encourage them. It's not so much about... It's a way to love people and encourage them. So if it's not the interaction with the people, I'm bored. I don't like it.
Oh.
So there's more of them than there is of me. Okay. So it's got to be about them,
If you
right?
just turned up, my name is Paul. How you doing? Anyone who just turned up, never heard of me before, Paul Colman. Right back, the man in the sort of greyish hair. No, I'm not going to do anything. I just want to give you a gift, bro. That's all. What's your name? What's his name? What is it? If you want to look at Peter, turn around and have a look at everyone, Peter. See, this is what you look like when you have grey hair and you're thin, it looks cool. When you have grey hair and you're a little bit fat, like me, you colour your hair. Here you go, Peter. This is for you, mate. Right here.
Absolutely.
So that's what I like.
Yeah. Well, but you started out 25 years ago and you're still singing. And so it must be doing something good, something right, but
yes.
you've sang with a lot of people. But let's start from the beginning. You worked with the Paul Colman Trio.
It's a band that I named.
Yeah, how did that come?
I don't know how I came out with a name. It was in a dream, I think. No, I had a lot of Paul Colman shows, and then we started the band, and so I called the guys and I said, hey, I'm bringing the band. And they said, what band? I said, the Paul Colman Trio. Yeah, Paul Colman Trio. I never heard of you guys. Oh, dude, where have you been? And so that's how it started.
Yeah, well, you've been there for a couple of years, but while you were doing that, you were also making some solo music already.
Yes.
So was that then something that you like to play in a band, or you like to go solo? What's the best for you?
I like to do the whole thing. But I would say that the Paul Colman Trio was probably the best thing I ever did. But I love playing solo. I love playing in a band. I like stealing a band like I did.
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay them.
Just so you know, if you've just walked up, this is the band Trinity. I just stole them for one song, that's all. After me, they're going to take a short break and come back in all their glory to be Trinity. Right there now, they're just my friends just for a second. You say you do, you're the one thing I know. The question is you really love me. Look at that.
No, I just...
We're great.
As long as there's people, I like it. I don't care what people they are. I don't care what they call themselves. I don't care what they believe. Well, I care what they believe, but I just like singing and being with people, whether it's on the train today here, talking to you, playing up there. Life is about people. It's about relationships. So music is just a way to get to people.
Yeah,
that's
true.
What I love about it.
These people call themselves Trinity. You might as well call yourself the Newsboys, you know?
Not really. Maybe one day I was.
You've been working there for 3 years, so 4 years, 2006 to 2009.
Yeah.
So you were, in fact, filling in for a guitar player that left the band and started going solo. And so you worked together with Peter Fender.
Yes, I had great time with those guys. Matter of fact, when I joined, we weren't sure the guitar player would ever come back.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't get fired. I decided to leave, and it was just so unbelievable that Jody, right at that time, came back because he's just one of the original guys, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was a great time with that band, though. Those guys taught me a lot about life. I needed help when I joined that band.
What type of music were you playing at the time? Already gospel music, in a big sense, then.
Yeah, well, growing up in Australia, if you just want to play to the faith community or religious people, you won't pay your bills, because it's a country that has not many church groups. Okay. So I played in the pub Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I played in the church building on Sunday. And that's how I paid my bills. So I like playing to everybody. But yeah, that's how it started. I started writing my songs, but most of the time I had to sing my songs in a pub, not in a church building. So I started to communicate my faith in a way that wasn't in your face.
That's
subtle.
Absolutely exactly what we like so much about you, because you're singing with for a lot of people, and not only Christian audiences. But if I look at your busy schedule, guys, look at this. This is 1 month in the life of this guy. Look, he came back from Germany. You've been to Switzerland. Now you're in Belgium. You go back to Germany. You go to France. You go to Spain. You go to Netherlands. You go to Czech Republic, Poland. Are you ever home?
Don't forget Scotland and England.
That's why you ask about the whiskey.
You know.
Probably.
But I haven't done any touring for 40 months.
Oh.
So after COVID, this is my first tour.
Okay.
So the reason it's so many shows is, number one, I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep doing this. And number two, I'm trying to figure out if people want me to keep doing this. So the reason I came for a long time is I haven't been here for nearly 3.5 years. So I wanted to come for a while and say, hey, is this what I still want to do? Is this what I still feel good about doing? Do people want me to keep doing this? That's why it's sort of testing it out, because I haven't done it for a while.
Well,
I've been selling insurance.
I can call that a successful test if you look
we'll
at
find out. Where
how
are we
many
at
people.
now? We're halfway.
Well, we're halfway.
Nearly
Not
halfway.
only halfway. Yeah. So,
it's all downhill after Belgium, apparently.
So, wow, that's enormous. But is there such an enormous request for Christian music, or is it just that you're so good?
I don't call what I do Christian music. I don't like to put the word Christian before music, because then you're telling people what they're supposed to experience. And Jesus of Nazareth spoke in stories, and you had to think about the stories. What is he talking about? But he just talked about normal things like drink and food and plants and animals and workers and bosses, and that's what he talked about. But his stories had a meaning that was very deep and really about connecting with God. So when I write songs, I like to write my songs in the same way. So they don't always say Jesus, Jesus, God, 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 but they're stories, but every one of them has a meaning from my faith. So I just don't call it Christian music, I just call it music, and I let people figure out, what's he singing about? And I'm like, that's a good question, because I'm not going to tell you straight away. Sometimes Christian music, they want to know straight away what you're singing about. And I'm like, who are you following? Are you following this guy? Because this guy, the religious people didn't like that guy, but the regular person loved him. So I don't call it Christian music. I just call it music.
Thank you. It's a Michael W. Smith song. If I was Jesus,
and that's what you like to do, but you also entertain the people, and it's always in the sense that people just love to listen to your music. So what is the difference with contemporary Christian music that other people can sing? Because what you're singing, okay, if you don't call it gospel, what can I call it?
Music.
So,
you see,
oh, that's a good start.
When I first started writing music, there was a guy called Larry Norman. Larry Norman was my hero because he wrote with a Bible in one hand and the newspaper in the other hand. Okay. He wrote songs about everything. So imagine that the lyrics were like a big meal. He had all the food groups, bread, meat, vegetables, everything. But Christian musicians this day, they just write with the Bible. And so they tell God all the time what he already knows. And I think it's important to also write with a newspaper and to write songs for people who don't know who they are. So that's what I try to do, is write songs that you can understand in a bar or a church or a jail or a Mardi Gras or anywhere, because they're songs about yearning for connection with something bigger than yourself. For me, that's God. I can't see life any other way. When I look at people, I see the face of God. I see a designer. I have friends that when they look at people, they just go, we're born, we live, we die, we go back. That's it. There's no God. I respect their beliefs. I really do. Yes. But I just can't see it that way, because when I look at people, I just see you're a miracle. You're breathing. You have a mind. You have a desires. You have love. You have a journey you're on. And I can't think that it's just for nothing to just die. I can't see it that way. So I try to write songs about that experience.
That's exactly what I want to say. You write your own songs already since the beginning. You've never done anything else, but still, everything that you write, it turns out to be a very good record. So, the last record that I got recorded off, that was the most requested of 2016, which has a bit of a compilation, but also a couple of new songs. So, what's next now? Is this, are you at a certain point that you say, okay, I've done what I wanted to do, or is there anything that you say, this is something I would have on my bucket list?
That is a good question. That's a very good question. I don't really know. I'm not getting many emails. Paul, please release a new music. I'm not really getting some big groundswell of people asking me to make new music. But I've been taking a break to figure out, what do I really want to say? What does God want me to say? What is that? Because a lot of the songs that I write, I'm just like, I don't know yet if I want to release a new album. So I just keep touring, and occasionally I'll play a new song, but the truth is, I'm really not sure. The last 3 years I've been selling health insurance because there's been no touring. And then it was 4 years before that I released an album, and I've been writing songs and writing songs and writing songs, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, as a musical vet, I can say a veteran musician, what is your idea that people should do with music? Because you talked about Australia hasn't not been a very good, warm country for singing gospel music, Christian music. Now you're in Belgium now, so welcome to the missionary field. But what do you think if people have some feeling like I want to make some Christian music? What would you suggest to them?
I would say the same story that I say to anyone, and that is that the most powerful thing you have is your story. That's more powerful than an opinion. It's more powerful than a doctrine. It's more powerful than your opinion of theology. Your story is what you have that nobody else has. And if you tell your story in an honest way, people will listen. And then my opinion, let God land the plane. Don't try to land the plane. God knows how to land the plane. Too many Christians, they say, this is my story, but Jesus saved me. Jesus. That's good if you want to write that, but don't make it so easy. Write a story, write songs that to me are creative and make people question. That's what I would say to everyone. And if your story is that God has changed your life and given you love for yourself and others, write that, but try to find a way to write it that makes people go, I want to hear more, not I've already heard it all. I understand it the first time I listen to it. I understand everything. So that's my thought. That's what I try to do when I'm sitting on a bus with someone. I don't sit there and go, I don't immediately start with something. I ask them questions. I want to say, what do you think? Where are you? And if they say, what do you think? Then maybe I'll say something. But I think just telling your story as honestly as you can, to me, that's the most powerful thing. To me.
Wow, it's very nice. You're a very nice guy. Thank you for having given us some time to talk with you. We'll listen to your awesome music. We hope to hear more from you, and we're going to follow you everywhere you go.
Thank you, brother.
Very much, my friend.
And I hope they show us singing before, because it was pretty good. That's the highlight of the interview.
Okay.
Thank you
very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Colman.
You really love me. You really love me. You weren't invited. I'm just joking.
Was je bemoedigd door ons programma en wil je ons steunen? Dan kan dat via upmedia.be/steun ons of via deze Payconic QR-code.